Oh, there it is.
Took a minute. Hey, Corey, how you doing? You adjusting
Hello
yourself? Sorry for the late start, folks. We're here. Welcome to the StewKast this Tuesday afternoon. We're about 5 minutes late. It's no big deal. But we were getting on the air here. Yeah, and I got to trim my beard tonight. This thing's getting out of control. I let it grow out again. It's insane.
Nothing
But
wrong with a little length on the beard.
Yep. This is the StewKast Wrestling Podcast on the Combat Zone Network, a subsidiary of the Fans First Sports Network. Thank you for joining us. I am Lou Marconi at omarconi251 on Instagram, at omarconi1973 on X. My friend, co-host, and hetero partner taking off his jacket is at Corey Castle everywhere. We are going to go over the Royal Rumble. And that's what we're going to talk about today and what it leads to WrestleMania. And that's about it. And we'll let you guys get back on your day. Thank you for joining us today during your lunch hour. We appreciate it. Corey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very good. Very good. Feeling productive. Feeling active.
Feeling good, feeling productive.
Feeling
Yep.
good.
Please also check out Corey's stuff. He's on Evolving with Corey Castle at on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Also, my shows on the Fanatical Elves Network, Burning River Browns Talk, Stirring the Pot, as well as we do the Sunday Stew Pot together on Rumble every Sunday. But my episodes are on the Fanatical Elves Network and also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. So you'll be able to see all that. So thank you for joining us. Did you want to dive right into the Royal Rumble and tell me what you want to go match by match? Because
there wasn't many matches at all, for sure.
No, the Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
Then you had the tag
Cody.
Match, and then you had Cody and Kevin Owens, which was absolutely brutal.
It was. Yeah.
That was just
like, who takes an Alabama Slam through a ladder in the
Yeah, I always thought it was called a flapjack because there's the Alabama Jam, which is the leg drop off the top rope too. Yeah, he took that. Yeah, he took that. When I saw them setting up for it, I'm going, "Oh my God, that's going to happen!" And boom! And then the ladder broke, and he basically folded like a card table, and he's all bloody. And I said, "Okay, he's going to be on the shelf for a little while."
I mean, you'd think that, but then did you watch Raw last night?
No, I did not. I catch Raw later.
Raw last night, he hobbled in there and attacked Sami Zayn. So that's leading me to absolutely believe that Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania is going to happen.
That'd be beautiful. That'd be a nice match to watch.
Yes,
that would be. Now I was wrong on a prediction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we all were. No one would have called that Jey Uso was going to win.
No, that was a complete swerve. And all I remember was when it was down to the final few, and when Logan Paul got thrown out, I popped. I did not want him to win.
Right, that guy's not a main eventer of WrestleMania at all.
No, not even. No, neither was I. But still, I just did not want to see him in there. Jey Uso, I could see them pushing it. He's over huge. So. Yeah. Good for him. I'm happy for him. And I didn't see when it came down to them too. I was thinking, I said, it's not going to be John because he hasn't been on TV that much lately. He's really not really. He's kind of, if not officially retired, he's at least semi-retired.
But if you didn't watch this, very likely you didn't watch the post show of Royal Rumble. He did like a press conference where he sat down. He sat down and didn't answer any questions. He just had statements to make. He said, "I'll just talk and give you guys your headlines right now." He said, "I feel like so many times I've done what's best for business, and at this point, what's best for business is for me to insert myself into the Elimination Chamber and get myself into WrestleMania and be a 17-time world champion and break the record. That's what's best for business."
It's best for him, actually.
Right. He was going. He was saying it's not what I want. It's not what I think is best for me. It's what I think is best for the business. And he was putting it
Yeah,
over like that.
yeah. I'll tell you, I that is interesting. They did that. Um, there was this controversy with Drew McIntyre. Were you watching it live like I was, or
And I watched it later that night.
okay, you watched it later that night? Did you see how like when he was eliminated, they had the tight shot of his face and he looked
Yeah,
angry?
yeah.
Well, and then all of a sudden you hear there was a big dust up in the locker room area because he was mad that somebody had to get all their stuff in and he just didn't like the way it went.
I didn't read any of that. I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he was mad at or what he was mad at, but it was supposedly him and Triple H were arguing with each other. I don't buy it because they said, "Did you see his face when he was eliminated?" Yeah, he was doing his job. He was selling the fact he was eliminated. Yeah, I mean, like, I just don't. I'm sorry, man. I don't see that. I don't see that being it. But you didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear anything about it. I mean, I saw a headline or two, but I just scrolled right past it because like I don't believe it.
Yeah,
So
because I didn't believe it either.
I
Yeah,
didn't like see any of the details of it because I was like, Drew McIntyre's a pro. Like, there's no way he's gonna get into complaining. He's in a good spot, and he's like the best he's ever been.
yeah. He's actually he's doing very well for himself. Very, very well for himself. And anybody there right now is in a very good spot, just so you
Right?
know,
Yeah.
in the company. Okay, so we talked about the Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, where it was absolutely brutal, and Cody Rhodes almost started slipping to the dark side doing that match. I don't know
Right.
if you noticed that. It was just
Yeah.
like,
He
wow.
was doing the. He
Yeah,
was. Babyface fire was turning into heel heat pretty quick.
yeah. Then you got the tag match.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts on the tag match, because then I'll tell you mine.
Um, remind me who was in the tag match?
DIY
Okay, yeah, I
and the
didn't
Machine
catch that.
Guns.
I skipped right through it. Um, I skipped right through that match because I really just wanted to see the Rumble and I wanted to see the
Okay.
ladder match. And
It
I kind of skipped through the women's Rumble. I didn't watch it fully, and I didn't watch the tag match fully, but I for sure watched the full men's Rumble.
Oh, come on, I was waiting for you. Didn't you want to see Nia Jax win it? I'm kidding. Okay. All right. I'll
It
tell you
was
about
cool
the
that
tag
Alexa
match.
Bliss
I'll
came
tell you
back.
about, and I know Johnny Gargano. I like him. The match itself on the surface, excellent in execution and spots and everything, but the crowd wasn't reacting to it because it was like boom, 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 boom. It was that type of a match. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. It seems like don't take this as a shot at Johnny Gargano, but
No.
everything that he can do, they've seen it all done better by somebody else. Um, somebody who like people who like look. I think like to me, and I'm no way um, on the inside. I'm not on the inside of WWE's business. I don't really know how that's going, but I feel like kind of almost the way like remember when AEW pushed Adam Page, the Hangman Adam Page, as the world champion.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
I think that they did that and I think I said at the time the reason they were doing it was because maybe Tony Khan said he was going to do it and he promised this guy that he was going to push him well or whatever he promised this guy, or he said out loud that one day this guy will be world champion, so he had to like double down and stick to his guns on it.
Mm-hmm.
I get a similar feeling from Johnny Gargano is like that he was a pushed guy with Triple H's NXT when Vince didn't want him to be on the main roster. So Triple H is trying to prove a point to him that he's got a spot. it feels very forced to me.
Yeah, and the match was pretty much what it was the TV angle pushed along. It was really it's and it's no title changes because I wasn't expecting it.
Right.
Um, so I mean, the match itself was great. The execution, the spots, amazing. These guys are great athletes.
Mhm.
It's just something along the lines that the crowd really wasn't but eating, taking in what they were giving them. So
Right.
it's just they weren't reacting to it. So that's all. And I can imagine that's always a disheartening feeling when you're in the ring and you're doing stuff and you're not getting
Yeah.
much of a reaction. And it's like, okay, what do I need to do? That's when you got to think on your feet in the ring a little bit. It's like, okay, what do we need to do differently?
Yeah,
And
like getting an opposite reaction than what you're going for is, I
better than
mean,
no reaction.
let
Yeah.
me let me say, just as simple as I can say it, that's not being over, dude. Like, find a way to make what you're doing be over. Um,
Hmm.
but you guys wanted to maybe stick to the script or something, like stick to what you rehearsed or something. But
Yeah. What you do is you go through everything in the locker room and then you just go out and do the match. And you're not really maybe not working the crowd as much as you should be or getting them involved. There could be other things to do. Yeah, I've
right,
seen that happen.
right.
But okay, well, let's dive in because you didn't barely watch it. I'm gonna talk about the women's
Mhm.
Royal Rumble. So did you hear about the quote unquote wardrobe malfunction?
It's,
Lyria Valkyria.
I saw like a headline on Twitter, but I
It was
didn't
no,
read
because what it was, she went out there. She did this beautiful fisherman suplex. It was great, perfectly executed. Can't think of who she did it to. Uh, and she did it, and she got up, and next thing you know, she's messing with her outfit, like she's trying to reach behind her neck. It's just, and I'm like, oh man, her top's coming off. But nothing was revealed. It just came down to like here, but it's just like, and I guess Liv Morgan kind of shoved her in the corner so she could lay there and sell and then put it back on and snap it back. I
what
don't.
a pro.
What a pro! Yes, thanks, Liv. I was just watching. I'm like, hey, this is what's happening. So I said, oh boy. Um, Jordan Grace did great. She looked
Mhm.
amazing. She did really good.
She
I'm trying.
belongs there. Yeah, she
Oh yeah.
belongs in the
Oh yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who else? You know what? You might not like this, but Chelsea Green as a heel is fantastic.
Yeah, I love Chelsea Green. She's over
Yeah,
with me for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. And then of course, you got Nia Jax.
Mhm.
It's just doing. She worked it. She worked that. That was actually a very good match for her because
Mhm.
of her size and how she could do that. So it worked out very well for her because it was a good match for her. But the thing that surprised me was Charlotte was being on the shelf for as long as she was.
Mhm.
She ended up going over.
I have to say, uh, look back on recent weeks, I 100% called that. I 100%
It,
called Charlotte
my
Flair
understanding, it was in the plans for a while.
returning and winning the
Yeah.
Rumble. Yes, I did.
Well,
Well,
I
because
go ahead.
my logic behind that was, if this is for a main event spot at WrestleMania, who else can be a main eventer against Rhea Ripley other than Charlotte Flair? Like,
Right.
nobody. That
Yeah.
was kind of like, I'm and still they're teasing it like they did on Raw last night, was like, oh well, she still wants to see if she's inspired to challenge any of the other champions. So she's going to be at NXT tonight and going to be at SmackDown on Friday uh, to see if she's inspired to challenge
Hmm.
whoever the NXT champion is or whoever the
Yeah.
SmackDown champion is.
Yeah. She had to deal with a knee injury. My
Mhm.
understanding is that correct?
Yes, and then and
Okay.
in the Royal Rumble post show press conference scrum thing, she said, Did you see my bedazzled knee brace? She's like, I could have just had some boring ass knee brace. I needed to have some pizzazz to it or something.
Of course, of course.
Right.
But yeah, I think you were going along that line. I was a little bit surprised because how she was on the shelf, but my understanding was it was in the plans from the beginning. It was going to
Mhm.
be Charlotte that was going to go over. I was impressed with but actually I was impressed with Liv Morgan too because she was in there for a long time.
Mhm.
There was a lot of the women's Royal Rumble was entertaining. It was good. Women's wrestling has come a long way. I will say that. Definitely come a long way. What do you think?
From everything I watched, and I did mention this in when I said it in passing earlier, how cool it was to see Alexa Bliss return, the pop that she got.
That's thank you because I completely forgot about that. She got the pop of the night, no
Yeah,
doubt about it. Absolutely.
right. The huge pop. The people went nuts for that, and like she has been missing. Like you could tell fans have been missing her.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'll be
And
interesting to see what they do now that she's back.
did you see the jacket she wore as a tribute to Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, did it say like pray or like what's
Something
that?
with the fiend.
Yeah, something fiendy thing.
Fiend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
it was cool.
I saw it and I was like, okay, but then the reaction that she got was huge.
It
So
was like
that was
pain and play, like the saying that was on his gloves.
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm trying to think. The let me. I'm trying. There was another spot in the match that I was just like, whoa, just kind of. It
The
was it was
the multi eliminate like a bunch of people eliminated at once. Like there was hanging people all hang like the women all hanging off the ropes, and then like a
yeah,
whole bunch of people all getting eliminated at once was like a very interesting spot and something we definitely haven't seen in any other Royal Rumble.
yeah, yeah. That was part. Yeah, I think that was one of them, and there was another one. But see, the thing is, I watched it Saturday. I hate when I do this, and it starts leaving my mind. But I will say, just with WWE overall as a whole, I am looking forward to WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to seeing it because they did a very good job of
Mhm.
with this event, and I thought it was fantastic. The thing I was thinking about was this was done at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, correct?
I'm not sure of the venue, but I'm pretty sure it was in Indianapolis. Yeah, because it said
Yeah, because there's that huge
Indianapolis
stadium,
on
and I said,
right.
well, right now the big thing going on in Cleveland is that the Browns owners want to build a similar type of complex in the suburbs of Cleveland and to get out from downtown from being an outdoor stadium. Events like that could happen here
Right.
where I live. And that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, the Summer Slam was at the outdoor stadium. When SummerSlam for an outdoor summer events are great.
Right.
I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
loved
They
working
did. They
outdoors
did
in the
at one
summer.
point mention that SummerSlam. What I think they did mention SummerSlam at some point.
In
Because I
Cleveland,
think
yeah.
don't they have something else coming up in Cleveland uh, next year or something?
I'm not sure where at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse at the arena.
Maybe I'm just misremembering. So don't
Yeah, because the
let's not
once
let's not
yeah,
dive
let's
in
not
and
go
get
there. Yeah.
crazy.
Well, the one SummerSlam that I was at where I was a Druid was '96.
Right.
And that was then it was before then it was named the Gund Arena after the owner of the Cavaliers. So that changed. That was the one SummerSlam I was at, and yeah, I was trying to think because events like that could happen in Cleveland, where and now that the media here talking about these venues, we're saying we could host a WrestleMania, we could host a Super Bowl, we could host other pay-per-view events like what just happened in Indianapolis, and they're talking about the revenue that it would bring to Cleveland.
Right.
So that's because the city's trying to fight it and
Mhm.
trying to fight the Browns from going to the suburbs is what they're trying to do. and that it's going to go into court, and the city's probably going to lose. But anyway, that was that. So overall, I thought the Royal Rumble was fun to watch. I thought it was great. I was entertained. I didn't think it was a waste of my time. And Jey Uso, congratulations. I mean,
Yeah.
enjoy it, man. That's what
Yeah.
it
The other thing I wanted to point out that I thought was cool
Go ahead.
was Logan Paul doing the jumping all the way to the table and then jumping the
Jumping back.
guardrail and back to
Yeah.
the steps. It was a good clever way. I guess that they always had like Kofi Kingston doing similar stunts to that. But was he not in the Rumble this year?
Hmm?
Was Kofi Kingston not in the Royal Rumble this year?
I didn't see him.
Okay. Well, Logan Paul took his spot as the clever way to avoid an elimination.
Yeah. Didn't Kofi Kingston do it on his hands at one time?
Yeah, he did. He did the hand.
Yeah.
He did a handstand walk, and then he did one with the chair the one year.
Yeah.
The commentator's chair. He always had interesting ways to avoid
Being eliminated.
elimination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, next week we'll do Raw and SmackDown. Sound like a plan?
Yes.
All right, next week we'll do Raw and SmackDown until the next big event happens. Guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. The audience is growing. We do appreciate each and every one of you. My friend Corey Castle at Corey Castle, check it everywhere and check out Evolving on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Check out my stuff on Fanatical Elves, which is also it's the Burning River Browns talk and Stirring the Pot, which on Johnny Cleveland. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we're available on the Fanatical Elves Network. And God, I got so much stuff going on. We're also Corey and I do our Sunday show. It is the Sunday Stew Pot, and we are going to, for the first time, to do that show live for the Super Bowl because the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. So we're gonna try. Are you thinking 9 a.m.?
Well, 8 a.m. is when we normally have the
You
show
want to go on that early?
I mean, it's very early.
That's very early. Let's do it 9 a.m. Let's make sure people are awake.
Early on Sunday.
Yeah. Let's do 9 a.m. and we're gonna shoot for 9 a.m. We're gonna be on here and we're gonna go live, talk Super Bowl stuff. And I think is it true that we're gonna have a special guest?
It might be too early in the morning, so maybe not if we're going to go live that early.
Well, no, we could go live later. We could go live later. We could go noon.
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that. Hey, before we forget, let me pause for a break real quick, and we could pause at this moment. All right, thank you. That's a pause for a break from our sponsors. Speaking of sponsors, check out Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Click on the details in the show. That's go ahead and order up some good coffee from a local company, and just tell them Lou sent you. So there you go. Yeah. Before I start sending out messages, hey, we're going to go live Sunday. Get with the guest that you want to bring in and see if we could do 9, 10, 11, or noon, and see if any of those times work.
Yeah, totally.
And we can make it work.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, sounds great.
Awesome. Much appreciated, man. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. And hey, we will see you Sunday on the Sunday Stew Pot, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Show's over.
Show's over.